All right. Well, good bye week. Did a lot of good things last week, including recruiting as a staff, and had a great practice today. Good start to Utah State, who had a great game last weekend, and we're excited to go up to Logan and have that game this Friday. So looking forward to the preparation and looking forward to that game definitely after having a week off. So any questions?
How much did you reevaluate going back over the last couple of weeks? How much did you tweak or change, or was it basically stay the course and just try and improve?
It's hard to answer that question without going into more detail. But we know what we're good at, and which that's from all three phases, and you try to focus on trying to do what we're good at, and develop an identity specifically on offense, and try to be a lot cleaner on defense and not give up as many big plays that we did against Wisconsin, and just try to find ways to win. And that's the whole focus is to make sure that we're fundamentally sound on all three phases, and that we give ourselves a better chance for success.
Any closer to that identity, or are you still looking for it?
No, we have a great identity on as a team. We just need to make more plays. I think the attention that the offense is drawing has taken away a lot of the good things that I think we're doing as in the other two phases. But there's still a lot of positives on the offensive side that we're seeing. We just need to find ways to make plays and get first downs and get points on the board, and that's basically our identity right now. But we have a physical line that can run, we can run the ball with, and then we have capable receivers. We just got to get them the ball and find ways to get our playmakers the ball and find ways to score. So that's basically what we're focused on right now.
Utah State had a tremendous game over the weekend. What do you feel like what challenges do you feel like their offense presents, just based on what you saw against San Jose State?
Well, they have some really good talent in the skill position, and obviously they're really well coached, and if you watch that game, they did a great job on everything. It was a good team win. They forced turnovers, they scored on offense, and special teams, they made some big plays too. So it was a complete game for them, and the score indicates that. So I thought it was a really good win for them, and a lot of good film for us to watch. But yeah, I think the quarterback is talented and has a lot of speed, and we've seen him before, and we're able to see the backup quarterback too, and he did some great things too. So I thought got to see a lot of different people on the field because of the game, and it was good for us to watch and see what they what they kind of go to, and what their identity is, and trying to match up what we can do to their strengths.
Johnny told us about a player run. They did a lot of player run stuff last week, but particularly the player meeting after, what was it, a week ago Monday, I guess. What does that mean as a coach to have the players stand up and really take ownership of themselves like that?
No, that's a good sign. That's what we're trying to trying to promote with our players is to lead this team. And I've said it before, this is their team. I want them to feel like they have a say in what we do as a program. So it made me happy that they were able to take this on and have a player only type of meetings. And then during the week, we practiced. It just wasn't their traditional practice because we had coaches out recruiting, which is something that we're really big on. Trying to get the right players here in recruiting, and with being the bye week, this is the only bye week we have, so we have to take advantage of it, and we have an extra game, so we're already down in time with recruiting. So we had our coaches go out and kept enough coaches around where we could still run practices Monday through Thursday. So it wasn't a traditional practice, but it was with our GAs and with our coaches that were in town, we were able to make it work, and we got better, and that also allowed the players to kind of speak up and teach and hold each other accountable as well. So I thought it was a good week for us, and we made a lot of improvements. And then, with everything, with timing and everything that we needed to go out there with a different personnel, worked on our fundamentals and technique, and knowing that we had some extra time and also had some extra time to scout out Utah State.
Were there any players who kind of noticeably stepped up with that kind of the shifting coaches that were recruiting and everything? Were there any players that kind of took it on themselves, I guess, to be more of leaders?
Well, yeah, I think more for everyone looks more to the upperclassmen, but I think it's offensively especially, we have a lot of young guys that aren't used to speaking up, and it was good for them to basically talk with their players, and I really believe that some players would do a lot more if their peers hold them accountable, and it's kind of what we saw, and so I can't specifically name anyone, but I thought it was a good group. I mean, it's different when an old man it's their job to yell at you. That's different than a guy that's on the team, that's a peer, that's a friend, that's trying to hold you accountable, whether it's positive or negative. They're trying to hold you accountable, and I think that's a good dynamic, and it's good for a team dynamic, and we're going to see a lot of improvement from that. We already have, and I liked what we saw in practice today, and so just really looking forward to try to transfer what we do on practice onto the game field on Friday night.
Do you envision any significant changes in personnel after the bye week and after evaluating?
I think that's hard to answer with significant. It all depends on health, and then depends on what we're doing as a team. So if our injured guys that were injured are improving, and I don't know what else to say about that. Is that where you're going at? I'm trying to read between the lines.
I mean, we looked at the new depth chart and doesn't look like anything major, but there's some oars in there.
Yeah, and you'll see different bodies in different places, but not too extravagant. It's a lot what we've been doing, but there's also there's some different looks, and so don't want to give everything away, but it'll be the base is there, and we'll just try to find ways to score points and take advantage of what we see as a strength for us going against Utah State.
I know you don't talk about injuries, but the secret's out with Tanner. We all saw him on the field before Wisconsin game.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a timeline for him to return?
Well, he's not on a scooter anymore, so that's a positive. So, so he's improving, but I don't. It's still too early to make a definitive decision on this weekend.
Do you like this rivalry with Utah State?
I do. I mean, there's a lot of connections between our program and Utah State, and I know personally and know a lot of the coaches on that staff too. So, and our coaches have great relationships with a lot of those guys. So, I think it's good, and it's an in-state rival game, and just really looking forward to it. I know we play this game on Fridays before General Conference, stuff like that. So, it's a lot of fun. A lot of attention will be focused on this game, and just looking forward to showing our best game against Utah State, and they've done a great job this last weekend. So, it's going to be tough going into Logan, but we're looking forward to the challenge.
Last couple of questions.
When you brought Elisa with you from Oregon State, what were the characteristics about him and his ability in coaching that made you want to add him to your staff?
Well, I've known him since we were kids, and so that connection was there. But I also coached him at Southern Utah. I was his running backs coach, and I was there with him, and then he was my graduate assistant at Utah. And so before he went to Utah State, he was with me the entire time at Utah and worked with me. And so we were connected there. Then he went to Utah State and did a great job there with Gary, and Matt Wells was on staff. And he did a great job with the running backs. The 3 running backs that he coached got drafted and went to the NFL. And so, I got to see him kind of grow up as a coach. And when he came back to Utah with me, that connection was still there. And so, we went to Oregon State together, and now we're here. So it kind of makes sense if you look at our timeline of how much we connect, and also the personal thing. Our families are connected, and we're great friends. And so it just makes sense that he'll do what he's doing. I think he's been doing a great job as defensive coordinator, and having that experience on the offensive side helps out too, because he's an offensive-minded guy, and is coaching defense, and kind of like how I was, growing up in my career too. So, kind of works out.
Kalani, you've said over the last 3 weeks that you haven't seen the team that you thought you could see. The potential hasn't come close. How important is it for this week for there at least to be a sizable step forward in that direction to seeing the team that you believe you have?
Yeah, it's important every week, but I've seen it in practice. I've seen it in fall camp, and I've seen glimpses of it in games. Just need to be more consistent, and then. We're probably speaking more offensively than anything else. Defensively, we've done some good things, and it's not been perfect, but when you have one phase that doesn't do as well, and not even to do well when it's doing horrible, it affects the other 2 phases, and that's the goal, is to make sure that they play like they practice, because there's a lot of great talent there, and a lot of great coaches, and the scheme is good. We just need to execute it a little bit better, and just basically do what we've been doing in practice. We've had some success against our defense in practices, and just need to make sure that we do that against the other teams when we play. And that's a big part of the frustration, is that transferring over from the practice to the games has not happened consistently, and we'll look forward to doing that on Friday.
Last question.
Do you have any particular memories as a player concerning this Utah State rivalry, Kalani? If you could get back that far.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just so you always know guys on the other side, and the connection that you have with playing against Utah State, and it's a tough place to play. They get really excited when you go up there, and so but I always enjoyed that game too. So I think our players are looking forward to going up there and just find a way to get back on track on what we know we can do, and it's another opportunity, another game, but we also know that how close it is, and we know we'll have some support there too. So it's a little bit different. It's a local game for us. It's not as much travel, and so not having to get on a plane makes it a lot easier for us.